People want to know the number one secret to healing, grieving, growing, elevating, transformation, self love, self help, and overall changing our bad habits. Truth is, it's not no secret. You have to get up and you have to act. You have to take action. You have to take action now. And the one thing that I learned that actually gives me momentum is yes, allow yourself to heal and rest when the body needs it, when the mind needs it. Not an everyday thing. You have to still take action. You still have to get up and make a step by step every day. I don't care if it's one step at a time. Make sure you're walking in the direction that you want to head. You cannot imagine that everything's just gonna drop in your lap. For some people it do, and don't get me wrong, it's possible. But for everybody, we gotta be realistic. We do. There's no secret. You have to start allowing yourself to feel your emotions, but not allowing your emotions to dictate your actions. You can't say, no, I'm not gonna show up for because life is shit and everything's not going my way. Things gonna fall apart, but sometimes things need to fall apart so that you can allow yourself to have clarity to be able to put them back together the correct way. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes the pain is necessary. How do we know the pain isn't the one thing that's showing us that we uncomfortable so that we can make something that's more comfortable? Huh? I know the pain and the discomfort that I had when I was working at my job was pushing me to say, you know what, enough is enough. I was in pain, I was uncomfortable, I was miserable. But guess what? I wouldn't have known that if the pain and the discomfort didn't exist. So sometimes we need to be grateful for every step that we're taking because every step leads to another step. When we solve one problem, me leaving that job, I solved that problem and it brought me happiness. So solving the problems that we face in life leads to happiness. We just got to make our way through that storm and not just sit in the storm because we think up all hope is lost. Honey, I'm here to tell you I'm an emotional goddess. And I tap into my emotions. I am an empathetic person. You hear me? And I feel emotionally deep. So if I'm telling you, do not allow your emotions to dictate your actions, because if your emotions dictate your actions, guess what? We're not going to show up for ourselves. And if we don't show up for ourselves, who's going to show up for us? So the solution is to take action. Feel the emotion. Don't deny it. Don't suppress it. But feel it. But don't allow it to take action for it. Not take action. Feel your emotions, but do not allow it to stop you from taking action. Allow your logic to make more sense when you're trying to start a business. Because if you're trying to start a business and your emotions get the best of you and you don't show up that day, then what? Your business go back 2-3 days. And then how many days you need to get up so that you could start the business? Do not allow your emotions to blind your actions. Success loves actions, consistency, speed. That is true. That is true. But there's a lot to learn, and I'm going to learn more along this journey. But stick around. Let's see where we be with the information we get along our journey. I'm enjoying my healing, my grieving, my spiritual, and my life journey. I'm embracing the pain, I am embracing the discomfort, and I'm embracing the challenges that allow me to elevate, challenge myself, reflect upon myself, and to grow and improve myself in areas that I feel as though that I need to. Not everybody, to each his own, but I'm living for me, not nobody else, and I do not apologize. So now we have it, and we're back, and I am challenging myself to get out again today. It is a bit breezy, so I will not be out here long. But one thing I do always question, like, how do not only do we get through the winter and the fall, but how do the crops of gardens get through the winter and the fall? So let's go see. So this is a location I actually visit pretty frequently. This is a community garden. As you can see, people still got some kale, some collards growing, and they still have a few other things to grow. But one of the crops that flourish during the winter time is kale, collards, broccoli, you know. So I always wonder, what is it that allows them to flourish through these cold, brutal weather, winters, and cold chills? These look like some lettuce. Oh, lettuce usually do good too. But as you can see, oh, they got some stuff here that died off. This garden was full, flourishing, full of so much life. I don't know if these are beets or if they could possibly be beets, and it can possibly be, I can't think of the name right now. I'm actually growing some and can't even think of it. They have some sage here. Look how beautiful it is. Surprised that's still alive. They have some parsley. Surprised this is still alive. Okay then. Okay then. But today y'all will join me on my walk through the park and the garden. I love this park. It has so many attributes to contribute to the community. There's a military museum back there. There's a park. There's water. There's a pad. There's a playground. There's a grilling area. And then a garden. So come on. Wow, you can tell some of the tomatoes and stuff that was here died off. Peppers, you could tell those was peppers. Wow. See, this is not usually my time frame. They had some mint, it looked like. Also looked like a little strawberry leaf, but that definitely looked like mint. See, these people are smart. They are covering their crops with some type of, it looked like a plastic cover, but that could blow off. But look, they trying something. Some of these other people like me, other than the crops that I had growing, I'm like, okay, if it's out of season, it's not growing no more. Zolin is not growing no more. I will do it better next season. I do find myself learning more and more about growing and gardening and living self-sustainable. Every year I learn something new. Every single year. But come on, because this is so many over here. Okay, they have a few broccoli heads growing. I love that. See, broccoli is also another vegetable that's supposed to flourish in the cold weather with the cold weather crops. There's some more peppers over here. But oh my goodness, they was not playing. They said, let's get it in the ground and let's do it. I love it. Over here, I don't know if y'all can see those two arches. Those are great muscadine grapes. A lot of people use muscadine grapes to make wine. Look like whoever had these plots also planted theirs. They was not playing. They was not playing. But I do want to go walk over in the park, get on the swing, and walk by the train. So, yes. I love that people got out here and was like, you know what? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. This is the military museum I was telling you guys about over here. I think that it's so neat. And it's free to enter. And, you know, learn about information about the military. If you ever trying to, you know, learn about the military or want to go into the military, I guess that's a good location to start. Like a military museum, other than, you know, doing your own research and whatnot. I'm going to have to take this method. I don't know if you guys can see it right here because my brain is like, wow, I didn't think of that. When planting kale crops or greens, collards or anything, do more of a up build. I guess it keeps the, you know, the vegetable or the produce or whatever you're growing from hitting the ground, because as soon as it hit the ground, it be dead. As soon as it's dead, it brings all the insects and things to eat on it. They working overtime with those chemtrails. But look at her. Give me some vitamin D. So join me for my walk. Come on. Why not? Y'all see the squirrel? said, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I didn't want to scare it. I am going to walk over by the train, but I also love that they have these little tables that you can have like lunch out here if the weather wasn't brittle as it is. But I love this because look at that. You could sit down, bring you a cup of coffee, tea, have your lunch out here, and just take it in, you know? You know, hit you with one of those pondering thoughts. I like to actually sit with myself and get my thoughts out because this year has brought a lot of pain. And I am taking the time to find my way through it, grow through it, heal through it, and learn myself along the way. And I'm tapping back into my world so that I can focus on what I have going on. I feel like my life kind of sort of paused, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because we all need to have a moment to reflect and sit with self to tap into our alignment in life, our mind, our body, our soul, our emotions. And what I had going on right now, I cannot say this enough. Losing a mom and a dad is something you don't prepare for. It's something you're not emotionally ready for. And I honestly feel like I still could use both of my parents here. And it's thoughts that go through my brain like, did they not feel like we needed them no more? Did they feel like they was done? But, you know, life gonna life every day long. And life is a big old question. There's going to be things that we never have answers to. And there's going to be things that we get multiple answers to. And then there's going to be things that we get one answer to. But I'm figuring out my answer. So let's keep on going. So one of the things that helps me heal and grieve and deal with my emotions in such a chaotic, stressful world is nature. I love me some nature. Put me out in nature. It's just me and nature. I love me some nature. So, like I said, with that being said, every time I come out in nature, it's like it's the most natural therapy that I can give myself. It's the most self-healing natural remedy for life. The things we go through, the questions we have, the emotions that just bottle up and boggle us, and we just don't know what to do with them. Nature is always my answer. Go for a walk, go sit, journal out in nature. Oh, and journaling. We cannot not say journaling. I'm about to walk to the train. Journaling is a very key factor in mental and emotional wellness. And I say this because journaling allow us to get our current thoughts out, because emotions is not going to stay steady. You're not going to feel that emotion that you was feeling on that Monday at 3:13 p.m. You're not going to feel that same emotion come Saturday at 8:17 p.m. You're going to feel different emotions along your life, along the different journeys, and you have to learn how to navigate life logically without being too emotional during the process. Look at this. So with dealing with emotions and walking myself through this journey, I consider myself being able to heal thyself, heal thyself. I sit with myself when I feel certain emotions, and I don't want to just figure out or see the surface emotion. I want to go in depth. I want to figure out that root cause. I don't want to go to the hospital and put a band-aid on something that's eternal. I want to figure out that eternal emotional button and what's causing it to flicker or push, and I want to address that root cause so that you can get into the nitty-gritty. You can get into the root cause so that you can address what's causing it in the first place, and not slap a band-aid on it, we'll deal with it in another 2 weeks or another 2 months or another 2 years. No. And I also don't want to allow myself to get stuck in not a depression stage, because I don't consider myself depressed. I consider myself grieving, healing, I don't even want to say sad. Yes, I miss my parents, and yes, it hurts when it's times like this. It's the holidays. It's Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, and with my family, I most definitely did celebrate holidays. Do I celebrate them now? No, because I think it's a bunch of BS. I think it's a money grab. I think it's a distraction, and yeah, it stops you from being able to sit with yourself in quiet and figure out what you got going on in here, and all over here. So I find myself, peeling back the layers of my emotions so that I can address the issue. And being out in nature helps me do that. Journaling helps me do that. Journaling helps me reflect on what I have going on so that later on I can look back to see my growth, my progress, and see how far I made it, to see the effort I even put in. Because a lot of us say that a lot of things not working, or we try to find this and give this and this and this. It's always an excuse, but did you get up and try? Did you put the effort in? I'm not saying chase, but if it's something wrong, or you're feeling upset, sad, or depressed, that's your mind, your body, that's you, your internal telling you something's wrong. You need to address something. And I do live in my own little fantasy, my little world, but I don't want to be in denial about how I feel. I feel like at one point, after my dad passed, my parents in general, I felt like I had to still show up in the world for other people. I felt like I had to still fulfill other people's expectations of what I should have been walking like after that happened, what my healing journey should have looked like. And to be completely honest with you, who the fuck are anybody? Who are they to tell me how I'm supposed to heal? And emotions is not something you're supposed to rush to. Emotions is not something you're supposed to suppress. Emotions is not something you're supposed to ignore, because that's what is going to come back up later and later and later, the more you ignore it. Y'all gotta see this. I just love to just take in the scenery sometimes. So come on, let's go. And when I tell you I have this complete park to myself, I feel like it's amazing. It's so silent, but yet it's so alive. I can feel so much energy and so much life. But when you look around, you expect to see a person feeling the energy you feel. But you have to remember, energy is all around you, and energy is transferable. So if you go out in nature and let nature do its natural thing, baby, you're going to have some type of self-healing in the mix. You are going to be able to have some type of clarity and intentions with your next action. You're gonna receive some of that natural nature, energetic, majestic life. Okay? One thing I've learned along my healing journey is a lot of people may take things personal, but I don't wish anyone to take anything personal, because my journey is only personal to me. So what I'm going through, and the silence, the solitude, the self-sacrifice time that I'm taking for myself, is for myself, personally, for me. So don't think that the detachment, the silencing noise can be loud for others when they don't understand, but it's not for them to understand. That's for me. And along the journey that I'm taking now is I'm allowing myself to take the time for me to get to know who I am now with the new steps that I'm taking. I'm currently still reshaping my current reality. This is all still new to me, and my relationships with family, friends, and people in general, associates, people that's in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Those relationships, friendships, and situationships, I guess, with certain people can be a little wonky on the other side, because they don't know what my journey entails. Only I do. So with that being said, I have become very unapologetic about my actions, because I don't have to explain myself to nobody, to be honest with you. And as long as I am being able to go to sleep and wake up with my decisions that I'm making in my life, that's all that matters. Because if I wake up with a decision that I agreed to from somebody else, guess what? I also have to live with that. So am I going to live with their decision, or am I going to live with my decision? Enough said. Silence can also be very loud.
Arch your back at the butt. I want you to strut, strut, strut. Yeah, I want you to.
Baby, I need you to strut. Walk like you don't give a fuck. Look at you, bad to the bone. You thick too? Yeah, that's a plus. Damn. Whole lot of junk in the trunk. Like, damn, can I get a touch? Touch? I won't tell nobody nothing, just trust.
Don't forget to take a moment for yourself. Okay? But that ends my adventure and my outing in this cold, breezy weather. My fingertips always makes me feel amazing inside and outside. That sun hitting my skin and making that vitamin D within. Come on now. But guess what? I got out, I challenged myself, I did something that was uncomfortable. I stuck to my system, my new routine, and I challenged myself. And guess what? It wasn't that bad. I'm actually glad that I got out, because nature. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is not just for you, but this is for me personally. This is my visual diary, and if you do like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that you can get to know me and the brown Zen culture, where we're grounded in wellness, rooted in brown, and healing in Zen. Are you healing, friend? I hope you are. Stay true to yourself from within, love yourself, and to always know that you have the power to grow. Stay true and authentic and unapologetically you. Allow yourself to heal, grieve, and grow. You have the power and the energy. Okay? Love you.